Okay, so this is Chucky Season 1, Episode 6 and 7 review. I am late as hell on Episode 6 and late on Episode 7 because I was in the hospital. I'm still technically recovering. Uh, so yeah, I didn't feel like recording all last week because I recovered. We're on that for Episode 7. Anyway, Episode 6 starts out pretty fucking cool. Like, I even shazammed the music for it. It was Andy and Kyle. They're going around like posing as government census agents, and they're taking census trying to find Chucky, and they're talking to this family and their kid about her toys, which is weird. I didn't know census they did that. I didn't know they came to the house and took census anymore. Cause I remember I was in some papers and a $2 bill to do the census. I'm like, okay, and I still have the $2 bill. Anyway, but yeah, um, so they talked about to this girl about her dolls, and she explained to him, they're like, yeah, but do you have any other ones? You know, like any scary ones? And you got uh, Kyle uh, looking at Andy like, be cool, we'll get there, just be cool, you know. And so she says, oh yeah, I got one more, and she goes and gets it, and it's Chucky, and the good guy doll. It is Chucky. It's the one from Curse of Chucky with the messed up hand. It's that one. And you saw it in the trailer when she picked him up. You had that look between him and Andy, and he goes, "This is on you." And then like they shoot the shit out of that doll, like Pulp Fiction style. It was so cool. And Chucky goes, "Fuck you, Andy." It's awesome. And they're back on the road, and Andy, at first, you feel like he's holding something back, but to me, it's like he didn't want anything to happen to his sister, right? So he's purposely distant and a doctor's sister. He's purposely distant and everything, and they get to a gas station, and he winds up leaving her because he didn't want her to get hurt. Okay. So yeah, and this episode was alright. It was good. Um, yeah. So the flashback was Charles Lee Ray and Tiffany buying a car from a salesman. Nothing too significant except you see Charles Lee Ray reading a book of voodoo. So there's yeah, that's literally the only thing left to flashback to at this point. I'm not a car guy, but I understand that was a nice car. I'm trying not to mix it up with episode 8. It's been a while, and there's a lot I don't remember the last couple of weeks because I was fucked up. Uh, but yeah, I believe this one where the teacher was arrested, and they hint to her having a past. And I know the fandom was like, "Is that Glinda?" I don't. Again, I like that teacher way too much for her to be Glinda, but I mean, so far it could be. She's just young enough to, Glinda was born in '98, yeah. So uh, maybe I don't know. And you got more of oh yes, more of I call her Andromeda, Junior's mother, because I don't still don't know her name, Lexa Doig. You got more of Andromeda in her cancer thing, and she's telling her family, and she goes to see her therapist. She's like, "Yep, you're not gonna have treatment. Whatever happens, happens." The second she said that, I'm like, "So something about to happen, huh?" And it did. Chucky shows up, and he fucking whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute. I think that's episode 8. No, it's not. It's this one. So he shows up with a cart with sit on it, and he runs it into her, and she falls out the window right onto the car where Junior's waiting for her, and her face is this close to his. I was like, damn, you know. And of course, everybody but the kids think it's a suicide. So yeah, this of course drives a further wedge between Junior and Jake, and Junior and Lexi. We're on that in episode 7, and later on, You got Junior watching Cape Fear, the Robert De Niro Martin Scorsese remake from the '90s, and that plays into what's about to happen because all the kids are at the house, at Lexi's house, I believe, and they're all waiting for Chucky. They got everything all boarded up. I'm hearing the Home Alone comparisons. Okay, afraid of the first, but all right. Yeah, they're all boarded up with traps and shit, and they're waiting on Chucky, who shows up, obviously, and all these Cape Fear references are playing, right down to them playing the music from Cape Fear. I was surprised we could have seen a Chucky riding under the car like Robert De Niro did. Like the Simpsons did it with Sideshow Bob, I believe in season 8. So, yeah. Yeah, so once again, Chucky has Lexi. Alright. Could have done it right then and there. But instead, once again, he doesn't. This time instead of fucking with her, he offers her an alliance, wants her to kill Jake. And some development for her. Um, she doesn't. Actually, she saves Jake. Really think about it. Who shows up and fight, but Chucky slaps between Jake's legs, real cool. Right into the hallway where he meets Junior, who shocks him. He shocks the rubber doll somehow, and Chucky makes his way downstairs. They follow him, well, not downstairs, towards the stairs, and they follow him. And Junior's mother's there, the cop, and Chucky's like, "Hey, not Junior. I'm sorry, uh, Devin." That's who shocked Devin. Yeah, Devin's mother's there, the cop, and Chucky's like, "Hey, Devin, watch this," and he throws his mother down the stairs, murdering her. Like, damn, just killing everybody's parents. And he's whoa. Um, I know for a while people are like, "Well, where's Devin gonna go?" As I explained in episode 7, yeah, and then Chucky leaves, and that was on episode 7. The fallout from that, Devin's about to leave town, live with his aunt. Jake's gonna leave town because he's fucking done. Uh, Lexi's just there. It's more about was way more about Tiffany and Nika and Chucky and Andy, which hell yeah, hell yeah. So Fiona Dourif, from the second she showed up, was just the coolest thing about the show. She showed up playing a young version of her father as Brad Dourif as Charles Lee Ray from the '80s, and she's also playing Nika, and she also played Chucky playing Nika. Now she's playing Nika, kind of playing Chucky because she saw blood in the previous episode, and changed her back to Nika. And her and Tiffany are moving into Charles Lee Ray's old house in Hackensack. Well, Tiffany is. She's the one doing all this, and they have a poker game, which is a nod to Jennifer Tilly, being just a top tier, world renowned poker player, you know, which is cool. And that's when she basically calls Nika out on her shit. She was like, "Nika," and Fiona Dorf is doing, and at this point is playing Nika playing Chucky. What can she do? And Tiffany sees right through it, and she's like, "I stabbed you earlier. Nothing happened. If it were Chucky, he'd still be yelling." And she looks under the table, and yep, sure enough, there's something in her leg. So yeah. And you got a scene I really enjoyed of Tiffany jumping down on a briefcase like she did in Briar Chucky, even called somebody sweet face. I like that, like she did in Briar Chucky. And okay, and then yeah, so Jake's about to leave town, runs into a delivery man, postman, what have you, with a doll-shaped box, and he buys it off him for $350. He just happens to have on him, and then he opens it, takes out the doll, destroys it, turns back around, goes back into town, right to Lexi because he can't get a hold of um, Devin because Devin made the mistake of sneaking in to Charlie Ray's old house. Yeah, and uh, and when he gets there, he sees Nika tied up, and I for a second I knew that was Nika. Yeah, so he goes to help her out. She's screwing for help. He helps her out, and then of course he stands up because obviously it was Chucky. Knocks out Devin, ties him up. You see just the army of Chucky's just staring at him like, oh shit. And while this is going on, uh, like I don't know if they're activated yet because the murder hasn't happened yet, but it's about to. While this is going on, Lexi and Jake are having a conversation, and as of the, episode 6, I was finally coming around to the idea maybe I can buy them as, I don't know, friends. I don't know, that's what, more like friends in a Spider-Man and Venom kind of way. Like they work together to take down a bigger threat, but they're not like best friends or anything. But they're kind of on the same page. Well, they're kind of cool, I guess. And then this week or last week, again, I was sick. I was fucked up, and I was like, yeah, they're. I think they could be cool now, right? When I think that fucking Lexi, she said he's talking to Jake, and Jake's like, yeah, I was about to leave town. She's like, why would you do that? It's like, what do I have here? She said, what about your family? He goes, what family? The first person she says is her. She's like, me, Devin, your actual family, who at this point, Devin Shaw was returned to drunk Devin Shaw from the first 2 episodes. So, you know, Jake, or Junior, doesn't want anything to do with them. So, yeah, what the fuck family? You know? And when she said that, like, she called herself family. I'm like, no, you forget dude tried to murder you, then tried to have you murdered, then told it to your face he wanted to murder you because you were so terrible. How are you family already? It's only been, what, a few weeks, if that. And one thing I've seen in reviews is the Jake and Devin relationship, which obviously all for, is progressing too quickly because uh, they had a scene earlier in the episode, and Jake is like, I almost left town after I lost my mom. And he's like, why didn't you? And he goes, because of you. It's like, oh, you just became a thing. Like, come on now. I know that it was acknowledged pretty early on he was in the Jake or Devin, but they didn't really interact, did they? So, yeah. And so they're doing all this, and I'm like, hey, where the hell is Devin? And they're like, yeah, where's Devin? And he's tied up. So yeah, you realize, oh shit, it's still going down. Meanwhile, uh, Junior is at his house with Chucky, who's been talking to him like he did Lexi, like he did Jake. And only this time it actually works, And the killing this one, I liked it, but again, I was fucked up. I was sick. I was nauseous. It's him. He beats the shit out of his father with Chucky. And Chucky's like, yay, wee. It's in kind of slow, not slow motion, but they slow it down, I guess. And I was so nauseated. And they had this weird angle throughout the episode as well. Or it just had to be the art episode. I was so fucking nauseous. I had to sit down, man. My goodness. But yeah. And then Chucky's like, finally, what are you dumbasses murdered someone? Now the real fun can begin. This is right when Andy shows up. This is right when Andy shows up, right? And you see those Chuckies basically, I think, like, I won't say come alive, but something's obviously different about them. Just right in front of not Junior, Devin, why he's all tied up. And that's where the episode ends. So, yeah, and Junior's in the hallway sitting there with this look in his eyes. Uh, Not really caring, at this point, you know. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about those episodes. They've both been real great, especially episode 7. I tried my best from memory. I could rewatch the episodes, but I didn't. So, but yeah, yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching.